Oh, look, the only regional in the world that wasn't affected by Spright or Tier Elements. And yes, the set was here. Don't make 30% if you guys have not smashed the living crap out of subscribe and smash so we can climb up the 100k ladder here. So, Bolivia actually looks like a giant time machine here, where there were some Tier Elements players and some Spright players, but depending on location, you know, you can't fully have the set take off. That's just kind of how things work out here. So, your top 8 for this event, and you'll see a deck here in top 8 in a little bit that did take advantage of a new interesting card to make things very, very, very interesting. But we had 2 Tri-Brigades in Top Cut being your most represented deck. I don't know what year ago Wayward Machine that we've gone back to, but Tri-Brigade winning a regional is just so unheard of in the current time that it's nuts. Now, we did get the chance to see a big old mean Mystic Mind player out here showing up and going, you know what, today is my day. You know, I want to run this tournament and we're going to do it my way. So yes, Mystic Mind did show up and inconvenience what looked like quite a lot of players out here. I also saw that Dragon Link was also in full swing here. We've seen Dragon Link holding on way, way, way harder out here and still being a giant contender for the metagame, which is very good overall. Like, it's definitely been one of those decks that is doing its job. We also had a Salamangreat deck. What is up with everywhere else in the world loving Salad? Like, Salad is just held on for dear life everywhere outside the US. Like, this deck just has not rejuvenated here, and it's really sad to see. We also have Despia, which was the deck playing the new awesome card. And then we also had Virtual World and Flaunderies. Any of this really surprising to you? Yeah, I'm genuinely impressed overall by what's going on here. Like, Power of the Elements regional, baby, but there's only one Power of the Elements card present. Let's pass on over to Decklist. Winning a regional was none other than, you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, Tri-Brigade. Now, once again, talk about going back in the Wayward Machine here. We're playing Rescue Cat in this bad boy. We got DD Crows in full swing, and then, of course, the good old Cerberus. I mean, you need your best targets to have access to for a deck like this. Good old Sky Cavalry Centurion here as well. And, of course, Drolls, Dimensional Barriers, all of the staples that you've all come to know and love to kind of stand out for the format. Now, I also like the one copy of Talents in here that also can be cross-outed in case your opponent tries to use it against you. Okay. You can definitely tell when you look at like a list like this that even if they did get the chance to play against some things, they tried to have countermeasures built in for that heavier costed metagame. So, you know, Crossout Designator will definitely help counteract the umpteen hand traps that you might run into. So, good stuff. Next up here, second place, was Mystic Mind. You know, what's very interesting about Mystic Mind in general right now is this deck has been seeing less and less play. Mystic Mind itself has been seeing less play as well, and you know, the entire community still wants it banned, which is perfectly understandable. But when a deck like this does show up and get its thing, it's just the equivalent to Chainburn from back in the day. You know, if you run into it, well, there's not really much you can do. But in terms of like the way that this build is, this is so staple that there's not really much I can say to like change this. Like, this is the most basic. Oh, man, is there anything in here that stands out? Like the D-shifters became a norm. Like, I guess the Planet Pathfinders are a little bit more left field, but like the Planet Pathfinder's job is to bait a hand trap so that you can do the rest of your play. And like you have Darkwill and Omors to like clear the field. Like, this is how mine has innovated itself right now. All right, finally some Dragon Link. Oh, we're playing a fusion card in here. Interesting. I do like when decks like this try to get cheeky. And I do like the Chaos Armageddon Pendulum in here as well. I was always a big fan of that card because I feel like it extends the deck really, really easily. And while a lot of people look at the way that, Dragon Link plays, they've been trying to shave off the number of cards in the current builds, and they've also been going more towards the adventure package. This build does not have an adventure package, which indicates to me that it looks like it worked. I do see a little bit more of the, I would say, niche rocket monsters in this particular list, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It just proves to me that, once again, you can kind of work around with some of these other cool things. Also, Mr. Borreload Furious Dragon being just kind of the giant board breaker. Pretty good. Next up here, 4th place. Oh boy, good old Salamangreat. So, out here, Salad is playing double copies of, well, that's fine. We're only playing one Desire. Well, I mean, I guess if you only play one of it, you don't have to worry about dead drawing multiple copies of it. Right. Also, I mean, you're only playing one of each of the trap cards. I have noticed that, like, a lot of these builds out here that have been holding on for Salad have pretty much reduced the number of things. We're also playing 1 Sign Up Mining. I mean, you got 4 searchers now. 3 circle, 1 Sign Up Mining should effectively get you to all of your resources that you need. So either way, nothing out of, I guess, too weird field with this. Like, Parallel Xyz become normal. Monster Reborn, I guess you could argue, is a little bit left field, but it's a free extender for this deck, so you don't have a reason to not explore it. I guess you just got to draw it 5-head. Next up here is our Innovation, as we're going to call it. Now, Despia here is playing Artifact Scythe with the new trap card from Power of the Elements, which is a common, by the way. So what you do is you activate Yield Brain Diffusion, you mill off the Scythe, and then with the new trap card here, you basically get to Scythe lock your opponent. Is it cheesy? Oh, yeah, it is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players out here live for things like this. Alright, and if you're telling me now that Despia, of all decks in the room, is now getting the opportunity to provide a Scythe lock on the opponent, big sus. Alright, I'm very happy to see that this was like the cool little innovation out here, because I haven't seen much of this stateside here, but I'll clap for it. It's actually pretty cool to see. Outside of that, build feels very, very standardized. Next up here, 6th place, Virtual World. Virtual World, where have you been, bro? Like, you have not shown up to any of the gatherings lately. You've just been power crept off the face of the planet. This deck is playing the Adventure Package, which is good. Gives it a nice little chance to keep up with Modern Power Creep. We also have Dark Rule No More, so we can board break. What do you want me to tell you? Like, as much as I think that nothing really changed for this deck other than losing VFD, it still had some of the best combo set up out there. Oh, I also see we're playing Final Sigma down there. Oh, that's spicy. You know how many players have foregone, making Final Sigma in a deck like this? It steals games. A lot of players don't have an out to something in the EDM, all right? And plus, getting like a slight chance to burst down damage. Do not underestimate it, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely is something that you need to be fully aware of that can just ruin your day, all right? Next up here, we have 7th place, Flaunderies. Oh boy. So we are playing the Simorgh stuff in here. I think that the Simorgh package this format looks like it's kind of become the norm for this deck. I mean, free extenders for you through the field spell feels really good, to be honest with you. We're also playing Extrav over Prosperity, so it's good news in terms of budget players out here that might be looking at like current Flounder lists, or like, I gotta stick on, we gotta stick to the game plan of Prosperities. No, you can play Extrav, it's just you're not going to be able to do like real Ultimate Slayer shenanigans, which is kind of going to hold you back in some parts of certain matchups, but I think it's fine, alright? So good news, Flounder is still doing okay, and I mean that in the best way possible, especially for, a regional like this that was an oddity that didn't have hardly anything show up. And the last list here is... wow, 1st and 8th place out here. We're Tri-Brigade. So this build is playing the good old Lyricalisk stuff. Holy moly, that's a time machine right there. I have not seen Lyrilisk stuff showing up hardly at all. Cerberus in here as per usual for the cat stuff. Only 2 Dark Rulers and 2 Talents, so only 1 Cosmic Cyclone in the main deck. This feels like it's got crossout ratios without crossouts built into the deck. I don't really have anything else too crazy to say about this. This all looks pretty streamlined for what you want to see for the deck, for what it used to look like at least. So that is your regional breakdown here for Bolivia. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.